Hello, fellow YouTubers. Hope you're well. Today is November 3rd, 2022. It's a Thursday. It is. I'm sorry. It's about 10:30 in the morning. I'm sorry. Looking at my watch, holding the camera. Anyway, sorry for the bad video there. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's Cavu right now. It could cloud up later, I suppose, but it's Cavu now, 10:30 in the morning. Crisp, clean fall, fresh fall feeling day. I don't know how fresh or clean it is, to tell you the truth. It just feels that way. And that means something. That does mean something. I'm done with the flat spin research. Excuse me. I'm not seeing any good information on exactly what the dynamics are, except for Juan Brown on the Blanco Lirio channel, where he explains that they're most common on a twin. It's very uncommon on a single engine airplane. I guess you could induce a flat spin on a single engine airplane, but you can definitely get out of it easier on a single engine. On a twin, and you know, I'm not trying to pick on Beech, but you know, they're barren. That thing. That thing, once it goes into a flat spin, pretty much you've had it. Here comes a small low wing trainer. Fixed gear. Beautiful day for flying though. Like, just, I don't know if I can get this guy or not. I mean, check it out, you know, it's like, what a day. Let's see. On a personal note, I had a lot of emotional trauma over the past couple of years because of some people passing away. My brother, for one, and my dog, for two, and then somebody else who I was completely off center or offset as far as what I thought was there, and ends up not being there. But so what happens to me when I go through that kind of emotional trauma, I lose my appetite, and it really has a good effect, a weight loss effect. And I was like at a $185, bouncing around between $185, $190, $183, $184, but basically 185 to 190 pounds. I'm at 168 pounds now. And not because of the loss. I mean, the loss of my brother, I and my other siblings totally expected it, because he was basically an alcohol, full-blown total alcoholic. And you know, when you drink like that, you don't have a long life to look forward to. And so 60 years old, we were surprised he made it to 60. It's sad. And I lost my dog. That was really sad. But realizing after this lady passed away that it wasn't what I thought it was, not nearly, and I just have myself to blame for that. Well, she's to blame too. I have a deal with God right now, and I've got to be careful what I say, because here's the deal. I want absolution for some of the unsavory things that I did in my life. Complete absolution. God could have forgiven me already for some of those things, but there's some things that are nagging me. Well, just like, I can't use the word relationship. I don't know what kind of substitute. Acquaintance. Like the acquaintance that we were acquaintances for a long time. When she passed, you know, like reviewing what had happened between us over the years, there were some incidents that I just kind of lost. I stopped thinking about them because I was thinking about other things. and then revisiting those incidents has been revealing in a way that is extremely disturbing. And I'm disappointed in myself for not having more fortitude to end things. But that, all that being said, my deal with God is this: I have this really strong, bad emotion about her, and it's not going away, and it's not getting weaker, but I vocalize it sometimes. And so the deal is, I'm not going to vocalize my really awful emotions about this person anymore in return for absolution for a number of things that I did in my life that unsavory, to say the least. And basically, I'm a human being, though. Human beings are going to make mistakes. And sometimes I think we're a little bit too harsh in judging those mistakes. Of course, everybody wants to go further towards the punishment end of the spectrum for things like that. So that's the deal. I can't vocalize. I still have internal emotions, but those emotions internally, oh no. Those emotions internally are exacerbated or aggravated by vocalizing, by vocalizing. Sorry, I'm being attacked by insects. It's crazy. So if I vocalize it, it feeds on itself and it gets worse. And I've been praying for help to stop that. And so I came up with this idea. And a lot of the miraculous good things that have happened to me in my life are a result of me asking for help from God, and then me coming up with something to do and how to mitigate these awful emotions and these awful, really bad, dark, awful feelings that I have for this person. And the deal is that if I don't vocalize any of these awful feelings that I have about this person, then I'm asking for absolution, unconditional and complete absolution, on forgiveness, I guess you could say, on some of the things that I've done that, just, I think that you're just going to make mistakes. I mean, some people are more prone to making mistakes than others. When I decide to do something, sometimes it's poor judgment, and I should be held accountable for that. But the bottom line is that I want a deal, and the deal is that I don't vocalize any of these emotions of hatred for this person anymore, and that's a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. In exchange for absolution. So there it is. And the flat spin is going to require more research than I want to do, because it's a unique aviation dynamic and occurrence that is so dangerous. It's like if you're in a twin and you go into a flat spin. So Juan Brown at the Blanco Lirio explained it in the best way that I could understand. And he doesn't say that this is the absolute cause, but when a twin goes into gets caught up in a flat spin, the reason that it perpetuates itself and you can't correct it is the centrifugal force of the engines, being out on the wings. The fuel is also, most of the fuel is also out on the wings. So when it starts spinning in a flat configuration, all that stuff is pushing outwards, and it prolongs, or it aggravates, it exacerbates the dynamics of a flat spin. The engine's on the wing, so the weight is actually pushed out to the perimeter of the airplane. And once it starts spinning, it gets a couple of turns, and that's all that weight is aggravating. You know, the spin, you can't get out of it. And I seriously would not want to get in a prop twin, a heavy twin that's either reciprocating or a turbine. I don't care. Anyway, that's the state of things right now. Boy, yeah, Phillies. Everybody, all the Phillies fans that I know, they were all for sure that the Phillies are going to win last night against Houston Astros. I said, that's one guy in the lobby of the building I live in was saying, we're going to we smacked their ass tonight. We're going to smack their ass again tonight. I said, hey, they swept the Yankees, okay? That didn't happen by accident. To me, this is kind of like punch counterpunch situation. Although all the experts, and people love criticizing experts when they're wrong. But the baseball analysts and everything, they all said Houston in 6. Just about every one of them picked Houston in 6. Okay, then we win the first game. Then we go up 2-1. Everybody's saying, that 6-game thing, Houston's not going to win anything in 6 games. It's still in play because it's 2-2 now. Not only did they lose and get shut out last night, it was a no-hitter. A no-hitter in the World Series. That's rare, man, because you're coming up with some really good hitters in the World Series. They threw a no-hitter at us. And a shutout. That means you start the game with 0 hits and 0 runs, and you end the game with 0 hits and 0 runs. And I can tell you, for a professional, any kind of amateur athlete too, when you get skunked like that, man, it's just awful. And it's something you take home with you take to bed with you wake up with it, you shower with it, and you're consumed by it until you get another shot at these guys. Well, they get another shot tonight. And I was saying that yesterday's game was more important. Tuesday's game where the Phillies went up 2-1. That game was more important for the Phillies than for the Astros. Why? Because if they're down 2-1 and they get shut out and no hit like they did last night, pretty much I would say it's probably over, but you never know. That would put the Astros up 3-1, and I just don't see the Phillies coming back against them, and they're down like that. If I'm the Phillies, man, this guy Bob Thompson, man, he's an incredible coach, and he's done a great job. It's not a coincidence that he takes over halfway through the season, and they come on and get into the playoffs, and then go to the World Series. They were the last team to make the playoffs to qualify. Anyway, I'm hoping to see a takeoff. I don't see anybody taxiing out, though, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. I left my dog home today because he just didn't want to come. He doesn't like being in the car. And if he has a choice in being a loaf and sleeping all morning, and getting in a cage in a car and being scared half to death, I guess that's an easy choice for him. It's November. It's clear and brisk and beautiful fall weather here in southeastern Pennsylvania, and count your blessings, folks. I try to count my blessings, and when I do, you count your blessings and you really make a stab at it. Like, let's say, okay, so you pray, you're praying for things, and you're wondering, how things have happened to you and why a lot of awful things have happened to you in your life. And you start counting them. And then I start counting the number of times I could have been killed easily, starting with my childhood. Okay? I was T-boned. I was riding my bike in 8th grade to school because I never got a ride to school from anybody, from my parents. And so I'm riding my bike, and you got to remember, okay, so I'm in 8th grade, so that's 13 years old, 12. It could have been 8th grade. It could have been 6th or 7th grade, too. I'm not sure exactly how old I was. But in the suburbs where I grew up, there weren't that many cars then. We're talking like 1960, 61, 62, something like that. And so at the end I live on a 1-block street. At the end of the street, there's a stop sign. and to get to school, I would take a right at the stop sign, and it was no more than a 10-minute, 12-minute bike ride, so I didn't mind all that much. I just run the stop sign because there's never any cars on the other road at that hour of the day. And I'm taking a right, and here's a Volkswagen Bug right there. Only they went a lot slower back then. Like she was going maybe 25, maybe 30, but she hit me square like a T-bone. That's the racing description. You know, like, you know, if you're sideways and somebody hits you, it creates a T, and so you're T-boned. I was T-boned by a car. Okay, the car weighs anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. And no time to react or do anything, except I raised my legs up off of the pedals. Not only did that save my legs, it saved my life, because the car banged hard into the bicycle, but not me, because I pulled my legs up. And I went forward, you know, off to the right of this car, while my bike went at a 90-degree angle into a tree. And that would have been the end for me if I didn't pull my legs up. But I do somersault into a lawn, and I'm dazed, and I look, and I kind of like sit up, and I see this girl, this woman, she's out of her mind, afraid that she'd kill me. Oh my God, I thought I killed you. Are you okay? Oh my God, oh my God. It wasn't her fault. It was completely my fault. And I was a little bit dazed. I said, yeah, I think I'm okay, you know. And I dragged my bike back to the house, and my mother, she looks at the bike, she looks at me and says, you're okay, right? I'm going back to bed. I think she might have wanted to investigate a little bit more, but no, that was my mother. I don't even like giving her that title, because she really wasn't a mother to me. Except in maybe a different way, like she's a mother. Just the way things go. Not everybody grows up in a family like the Brady Bunch, okay? That's just a fact of life. And she didn't abuse me all that much. She just was like in her own little world or something. I don't know. And Dad was out on the road, traveling salesman. Anyway, peace, y'all, and I hope that things are working out good for you, and happy landings.